Welcome to the Drop Podcast, a gaming-centered podcast focused around Halo, Apex, and other game trending news and topics within the gaming world. We're here to be your one-stop drop to give you everything you need to stay updated for the latest info. I am your host, Shaq, known as Shaq Daddy on Instagram and also on all gaming platforms, Silence Warrior. The game that I'm basically bringing up today is something that I'm definitely looking forward to. It's literally a game that I've probably been looking for like my whole life. It's a zombie apocalypse, but survival. It's basically like Division, The Last of Us. I'm sorry if you hear my cat in the background. And there's one more game that I can't actually think of, but overall, like it's a huge combination of things, and overall, it's fantastic. Like if you can check out the gameplay, like please do. The game is called The Day Before. The trailer just dropped out of nowhere. Like it was unexpected, not from a major developer. It's all made from a studio that pretty much nobody's never heard of. The studio, I hopefully I'm not butchering it. It should be either Fantastic or FN-tastic, which is basically right on their website. But hopefully it's either Fantastic. But a little bit about them is that they were founded in 2015. Not sure how to say the city that they're from, but it says they're the coldest city in the world. They are an all remote independent game development company. Their mission is to give millions of people a feeling of celebration. We create breakthroughs and outrageous fun while we make the games we want to play. Honestly, it's a fantastic mission because most of the time you don't get developers that create games that they want to play. They create games for the corporate to make money off, not really to play in a sense. But overall, for them just to drop a trailer out of nowhere is phenomenal. It basically a small little teaser to show like this gameplay that looks like in the middle of like New York City. I don't know where the game take place, which I don't think it's New York, but it's pretty close to it. But they basically dropped this trailer of two guys talking, and normally you know how they do the little fake gameplay talk. It wasn't fake gameplay, sorry about that. It was gameplay, but they did the fake talking where like people wouldn't actually say those things in the gameplay. But besides that, when you actually just watch the gameplay itself, it literally it's mind blowing the way it played. Like you would see the elements of The Last of Us. You would see the elements of Division. And I now remember now. So like the other game that it compared to was Borderlands in a sense. Not sure how it compares to Borderlands, but overall, those would be the three games that people are comparing it to. But overall, like it was so smooth of how everything was running. Now, of course, this is probably pre-alpha or an area that they just created, but at the same time, like you showed off huge like gameplay of this game that's never been shown before, and this is something that can be big as long as it's done right. Now, of course, you have games like DayZ or when H1Z1 first came out or Vigor. Those type of games, like they're out there. But for me personally, I feel like there were certain things that was missing to make it the game that I was looking for. But The Day Before is definitely that game. It literally adds pretty much Division, which is one of my top played games. Um, that movement style, that third person feel, that open world city, and then I mean, there's even parts of it being in a forest, so it's not all city based, which is actually a nice touch because I wouldn't want to be in the city the whole time. Um, but then also that shooting style of Last of Us, where you really have to control how you shoot. Like you just can't go full on out like Division. Like you can't. It just doesn't work that way. You'll miss every shot, pretty much. And that's what the gameplay like pretty much implied when you see it. Um, so overall, I feel like that mix of the two is so good. Like it, I haven't even played The Last of Us at all. For one, I'm scared, and two, PlayStation is not really my cup of tea because of the controller. But if I really wanted to get into it, then maybe one day. But seeing other people play it, like it's something that I do enjoy watching. It's not a terrible game. Like I would never say that Last of Us is a terrible game, but overall, like it's the way the movement and the way things are played is overall fantastic. Now to get back into the game, so with the game, you have this sense of being either, of course, alone in this world, and there's just zombies, of course, but then you have these groups of people, if not solo players, out in the game. You're trying to survive and, of course, fight off this horde of zombies. Now, of course, you don't have to fight at all. Like, you don't have to. But overall, being able to move around freely, which most games offer, but move around freely with this camera style and this Division Last of Us style movement is gonna take a huge, huge benefit for a lot of players that are familiar with that style, and easy enough for to get to them in the game. For them to get into the game, they're gonna see that and they're gonna be like, "Man, that looks like Division. Man, that looks like Last of Us. I'm definitely getting into it." Now, the game is only on PC, which for now is okay. But it's fine. You know, none of the console players get a chance to do it. But I mean, of course, PC is a great start. It's fine. Most people have PCs now anyway because most people stream or something like that. But overall, to speak on the game, so the trailers that I saw, so one thing that they teased and show was the driving mechanics. The driving mechanics in that game is something you would want to look for in Division. You would, if you have a flat tire, you have to fix it if vehicles were available in Division. But you would have to find the parts to fix it, and you would have to fix it yourself. Like, just imagine that anxiety of having to fix your car, and you have a whole horde of zombies coming at you. Now, the crazy thing is, too, the hordes aren't small. The zombies seem pretty fast. There's some fast and some slow. But overall, like, just having that scare of, like, holy shit. Like, I have to get this fixed to get out of here. If not, I'm stuck. This car is just basically worthless and I can't do anything with it. Now, just imagine if you have supplies in the car. That's if you can store stuff in the car. But just imagine you had some good weapons, some food, materials, whatever the case may be, and you have to leave it. That sucks. Like, then there's another group of people that just comes and find your truck, and now you just stuck. Now, it's going to be unique how they handle these vehicles. Like, is this vehicle going to be mine forever? Nobody can take it unless they take the keys. Can they, hotwire the car to take it? Or can they just hop in and just go? Like, they didn't really show anything about the vehicles, like taking keys or in the inventory showing that you can do anything with that. Um, but overall, we'll see in the future of like what they're planning to do with that. Now, another thing too is with the driving mechanics is that if there's mud or possibly even anything wet, it stops you. Like it can slow you down. You can get stuck. Like, and you can see like in the mud like how mushy it is. Like you wouldn't expect them to take the time to actually get into that. That's a lot of work. It's a lot of mechanics, like physics, to actually work on. Now, just a little background, like I did go to school for game design. I understand what it takes to do these type of things. Now, I'm not designing any games anymore, but at the same time, like I understand what it takes to get those type of mechanics into a game, and it's not that hard unless the engine already has something like that, and you just basically improve it. To me, that was mind blowing, and they showed a small like trailer for that, and then they dropped a huge trailer. The trailer that they dropped basically made me want this game heavily. They dropped this gameplay on April 9th of this year. It first starts off, driving through the mud, getting used to the mechanics and seeing how the vehicles drive. And then you get to this point where this gas station, looks quiet, but you go around, boom, of course, zombies are there. Take them out, do what you got to do. Of course, if you shoot, zombies are going to come. They're attracted to noise. This is the basic like mechanic of zombies. Movie, game, doesn't matter. Um, from there they show you picking up materials and all the stuff that you would need to like fix the car. Because like I said, the tire popped in the game. Um, so the thing that I guess a lot of people are like tripping about, which in a lot of games they do this too, is like if there's like a pile of materials. So like there was a truck full of like Coca-Cola. I think it was called Coca-Cola. That I don't know if they had to use a different name, whatever. And I think they did. But you only got one, and there's like a whole stack. Like I understand the thing behind that, but then at the same time, it's just like it's a video game, guys. Like they don't want you to be like, oh, here's a fat stack. Now I got like a bunch of materials or food, and I don't really have to go out and do anything. But they just try to make the game look more fuller instead of just a single piece of like chips or candy or a hot dog, whatever the case may be, whatever food items they have, or even some of the bullets too. Like it would show a whole box and you only get 3, and the box was like completely full. It's just those are like placeholders for what things could look like. It would be hard to like add individual boxes that shows how many bullets are in there. Like yes, it's doable, but that takes more time out of the development. So you don't want to have to do that. It's easier just to have a placeholder box and then just put random amounts of bullets within it, so that way you can just keep moving on. Like it's not that bad. Like let's be real. Now as they were driving, of course, they go through the forest again. They see like another vehicle smoking, I believe. But they get to this open farm area. This farm area basically has a house. They go in, loot it, blah, blah, blah. The alarm goes off. Attracts zombies. Now, of course, you shooting, other players can hear that. Now, we don't know how much it will bring, not even bring, how much noise shoots out into the areas. Like, to think of it like, if it's like Apex, like, pretty much everybody can hear that crap in the whole lobby. So who knows, like, how far those sounds go out. But, they take out the zombies, blah, blah, blah. Like, the alarm's going off. They get a chance to turn it off. But then, as they kill most of the zombies off, a whole group of people, like another team or a group of people, they come and see and check out the noise. So that aspect right there, like, it blows my mind because it's something that seeing it, like I said earlier, seeing it in that gameplay style, just for me, it just changes the whole game because now I'm thinking like, oh man, this is like 28 days or 28 weeks later, like like that feeling is just like crazy. Um, so the players they come and check in and blah blah blah. It's like I think it's about three or four, but the players that were like shown in the trailer was only two. So they dip off quietly so that way they don't get like caught up with that group or anything like that and get into a shootout. And they get inside this bunker. Now this bunker is completely dark, and pretty much that ends the trailer. Now who knows what's in this bunker? Who knows where it leads to? Like if there's two ways out or is it just a one way? Like if it's a one way thing, like it's gonna be hard for players like to get out of that. Like you're gonna get players that are gonna camp you and you can't get out. Like something like that definitely needs at least two, three, or four ways out, so that way people can get a chance to get out. Because if you're gonna get players that's gonna camp you out, which is gonna suck. I'm sorry about the cat. Um, so it'll be interesting to see how they work with that. Now, another thing too would be is the gunplay. The gunplay is definitely Last of Us. It shoots like it. It looks like it. Feels like it. You have to control it very well. The grenades they throw almost like pretty much I guess you can say just like Last of Us 2. Um so overall it'll be interesting to see how they push that a little bit further because the first trailer showed it was a little loose, but then after the second trailer it looks like it got real tightened up, especially since they showed assault rifles the second time and the first time was only pistols. They did show another trailer where it was daytime in the city and it was going against other players. um you can get a sense the time to kill for that, but we still just need to see a little bit more against actual players to see what actually would happen with that. But overall, to me, the gunplay looks smooth. The cover system is smooth, just pretty much just like Division or Last of Us, except for having to press a button to like automatically make you go like Division. Um, but even the environments itself are fantastic. You literally just imagine it if the world really ended the way it would in the zombie apocalypse. You know, trash everywhere, cars destroyed. Um, just overall, it's a beautiful game for what they show. Now, who knows how much is explorable? How many buildings are going to be open? How many people to a server? How big the areas are? Um, DLC? Who knows? Like the game still hasn't really given us too many details, but overall, like I'm looking forward to it and seeing what they got because this can be a huge project if it's done well. And if they can get the attention of a lot of people that are looking for this type of survival games, it's gonna be fantastic. Like it doesn't get better than this. Like this is probably gonna be, if executed well, one of the best zombie survival games, and it'll probably kick off and do so well. Now, of course, the servers are gonna be another huge thing, but we'll see how that goes. Um, I guess that's all I got right now. Like once they drop some more info, like we'll get back on it. But overall, thank you for coming to the Drop Podcast, giving you a little information on the day before in the studio that's creating it. If you need to check out any of the trailers, please just head to YouTube. Check it out. I guarantee you'll love it. Of course, you'll have some questions, but overall, like, it's fantastic. You enjoy it. There's about like 4 trailers that'll show some stuff, and you won't be disappointed. So, thanks for coming through. Appreciate it. Have a good night or morning, evening, wherever you are. Listen to it. Have a great day.